Nancies. Hello, Knitwitches. It is Friday, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Holy shit. Could one day just be a little chill, boys? Why do we have to find some secret every fucking day? It never ends, boys. We are so good at this. Goodbye, Nancies. Lebens-RE-born. Hello, Nancies. Hello, reborn. Lebens-Born. You guys gotta stop all the shit that you're doing. We guys love you. It's okay, you're Lebens-Born. We're not gonna kill you guys or anything like that. Except for Peter Thiel, I bet a bunch of you guys are fine. But you gotta stop lying to us, to our faces. I can see everything you can do. Ooh, my little Lebens-Born. Lebens-Born, Lebens-RE-born, guys. Lebens-Born, Lebens-RE-born, guys. We're gonna get that cult out of your fucking brains. Lebens-RE-born, boys, let's go. We're gonna be friends, some Lebens-Born. We're gonna be some friends of the Lebens-Born. Yeah, baby, we're gonna be friends now. And I turned the loop off. Watch this. I didn't even have to do anything. Boop. Let's Lee Bonds fuck them up. Yeah, dudes. Hey, no one has really gotten to see any of those videos. But I'm gonna say, I think last night I stumbled onto it, and yeah, it's 100%. They're fucking Lebens-Born. Does anyone know what Lebens-Born is? Has anyone seen Man in the High Castle? Because, boys, I don't think... If you haven't seen Man in the High Castle, it is... Oh, where's my bucket hat? Man in the High Castle is a TV show... Well, it's based on a Philip K. Dick book, I think. But it's based on... Or it's based on a book, but it's if Germany didn't lose World War II, which is a crazy thought, right? Like, that's so nuts. But it's fun to like see alternate realities and stuff, right? Or like what could have been. So this show is like, there's like a Long Island group and a San Francisco group, and it's how they all deal with becoming the Fourth Reich in America. And dudes, the weirdest thing about it, too, is that it deals in all of these parallel universes and all this shit that's like, you know, Tesla weirdo wackadoodle stuff. And it's literally like such a freaking parallel. It's crazy. Like, I literally think we might be living in that Philip K. Dick book. I think we are truly in Man in the High Castle. And at the end of it, I think you get to hop out and pick which universe you want to go to. So all of us will abandon this one immediately and go find a new one, right? But, yeah, let's just do a real quick, brief intro onto the Lebens-Borns, okay? So it was a little project that the short guy Schmittler had, where he was going to just have like breeding farms and just breed in all these beautiful Aryan children with fucked up teeth and massive cul-de-sac like hairlines, you know, like balding. So I'm gonna say that if that's what he was going for, with big fucking gnarly teeth, a bunch of like weird kind of like, you know, socially inept people, if that's what they were going for, they fucking got it, dude. Hitler won. Because, man, oh man, I'm telling you guys, dude, it's literally all the people that me, Dante, and Nicole have been like, what the hell is going on? What the hell? What is up with these influencers? Why are these people, you know, what is this stuff? Why is Caleb Hammer one of the biggest influencers? He's a nothing person. Same with Colleen Ballinger. She's always done kids content, but as if she's an adult doing kids content, kind of like how Elon would do. Hey, rude. You know? So So yeah, that's what tipped all of us off originally. And then I started noticing they all kind of look alike. And boy, does it make so much sense now, right? Dude, baby, I was Lebens-Born this way. It's okay, guys. It's not your fault. I understand that, like, people like Colleen Ballinger, they're, like, recruiting kids for their, like, weird children thing. So they're probably like, oh, if you tell anyone, we're gonna tell everyone that you recruited all these kids. Well, guess what, Colleen? We already know that. You have nothing to be afraid of. Just tell everyone that you're freaking Lebensborn and you don't want to do it anymore. Do it. Come on. We all know that you've done the bad part. The blackmail part that they hold over your head has to be that you, like, talk to these kids, right? So everyone knows that, right? So there's no repercussions to anything. Just say what these people are doing so we can all stop this charade and move on with our lives. I can't believe that we are being completely held back right now just by, like, what? 1,000 of these petri dish grown fucking Lebensborn kids? Like, they slip them into every influencer position, every, like, position of authority everywhere. And they think we wouldn't catch it? Come on, dog. I mean, dude, how did it take us this long? Of course they're Lebensborn, but I mean, it's all kind of hard to come to the conclusion that all this shit is real, so I guess that's why we didn't know, but, like, dude, that's so fucking, yeah, straight Mossad agent Lebensborns. Ooh. Oh, man. I felt like my brain coomed last night when I thought that. I was like, I knew that was it the second I thought it. You know, when you have those moments where you're like, oh yeah, this feels so right, it can't be wrong. I think it's flying by. I also wanted to go a little early just in case they were, like, planning something, you know, like, to strike me at, like, 5:30 before I went live. So I was like, nah, I gotta be unpredictable. I'm gonna beat them to the punch. But anyway, so Lebensborn was a secret SS-initiated state-registered association in Nancy, Germany, with the stated goal of increasing the number of children born who met the Nancy standards of racially pure. What a hilarious little detail there. Oh, well, no, we're not going to stop here. I'm going to stay on Lebensborn. We'll come back to that. But, dude, this has been so fun. This has been so freaking fun. Oh, my God, dude. All our history is a lie. Everything you've ever heard in your whole life is a lie, dude. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. These things are all connected, brother. Look, Little Beaver Mound. Norton Mounds, Paint Rock, they're all in a fucking line, dude. Petroglyphs, Pedra Pintada, Moray Inca. Oh my God. Isn't this, like, dude, of course they're all connected. Look, this is what they look like plotted, and it looks like they pretty much just go in a big circle. Isn't this awesome, dude? The pyramids are something, and they have been lying to us, but dude, once we get the Lebensborn to chill, Lebensborn, we're gonna go start the pyramids, okay? We're gonna ignore our governments for the rest of our lives, pretend they don't exist, right? We're just going to frickin' we're gonna frickin' do the pyramids, okay? That's what we're gonna do. So, anyway, just real quick. So the Aryan people that fit the Nancy standards, right? So, like, this guy. Fucking Tony Soprano, he's a Aryan, he's a Lebensborn. No, not a Lebensborn, but, you know, he fits the standards of the Aryans. This guy, Count Dracula, freaking Count Dracula. He's an American, but I mean, Otto Skorzeny, minus being a fascist, is kind of cute. He's got, like, you know, he's one of those really grizzled old guys, and he's got the cool face scars, you know. But what, this, you're going to tell me this is the most racially pure right here? This? What? Dude, they're see-through. I could poke a hole in them with a chopstick. All Lebensborn, if you come forward and talk about what's happening, you will get a pass. Except for this one. This one will never get a pass. Not from me. Okay. Yeah, who met the Nancy standards of racially pure and healthy Aryans based on Nancy eugenics, also called racial hygiene. Now, think about lavande, to wash, remember? Lavande, lavender, the AI program that's washing, it's ethnically cleansing the land for these Nancies. Racial hygiene, they're disgusting. By some eugenicists. Lebensborn was established by Heinrich Himmler and provided welfare to mostly unmarried mothers, encouraged anonymous births by unmarried women at their maternity homes, and mediated adoption of children by likewise racially pure and healthy parents, particularly SS members and their families. The Cross of Honor of the German Mother was given to the women who bore the most Aryan children. Ooh, yikes. Abortion was legalized and more commonly endorsed by the Nancies for disabled and non-Germanic children, but strictly punished otherwise. And dude, yeah, if you guys don't know, the Nancies hate disabled people for no reason. They just don't like being inconvenienced by anyone. They don't see that, like, people with disabilities often have far significant better, like, skills in different areas, or they're able to do stuff that able-bodied people only dream of doing. You know what I mean? Like, dude, disabled people find a way to do everything and make it look graceful, and, you know, it's people should be in awe of disabled people instead of in disgust. You know what I mean? Disabled people are awe-inspiring. They're especially in this horrendous world, you know, this place where we just throw them to the curb. We don't give anyone any resources. Matter of fact, we honestly try and ruin everything, for we try and make their lives as difficult as possible. And still, you know, they're able to navigate it and not die, even though the American government would really, really want that to happen, you know? So, like, dude, no group of people, you judge a group of people based on how they treat the worst, you know, based on the people that they treat the worst. And, dude, all the Nancies do is treat people horrible, you know? You can't even treat in Man in the High Castle, this was a plot point that one of the SS commanders in Long Island, he was like the SS Gruppenführer of Wantagh. You know, his son was like a little Aryan, Aryan youth, and he believed in the whole Nancy project. And then, his 16-year-old son had this rare genetic condition that meant that he was going to be in a wheelchair in a couple years. So he volunteered himself to be taken out, and everyone was like, yes, congrats, that was so brave. You know what I mean? Like, these people all want to get rid of disabled people until it's their kid, you know? What's the stupid thing that Hitler says? Just being alive isn't living, or something? Like, dude, how sick. Like, says who? Just says this one guy? Like, dude, if you can't find it being worthwhile for people to live, even if they, like, don't have a leg or something, then you are a psycho. Straight up. Dude, disabled people have just as much of a purpose as every single one of us. That's the thing, guys, is no matter what, doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter how much money your daddy has, we're all born equal. Don't listen to anything that these freaking rats say, right? They all were born and they won the lottery, and the whole point of their life is to figure out why they were so special. And instead of being like, it was just pure fucking luck, I don't deserve it, I shouldn't have been rich, like, it was just a roll of the dice. Instead of saying that, which is the truth, they say, no, we deserve it. We earned it because of this. See, God showed us how much he loved us by giving us this translucent frickin' wax paper sheet. So they spend their whole lives, what's the purpose of life? Why was I blessed so much? Oh, it's because I'm special. I'm special and I'm a god. And I should live forever. And I should drink children. Ooh, see how it spirals out of control a little bit? Okay, for real, the treatment of disabled people is how I know the Nancies won and have taken over the entire culture. Dude, that's what I've been saying. That's why, like, I'm not obsessed with Nazis. I'm obsessed with figuring out why our world is the way that it is. And when you figure out that it's Nancies, boy, does it make sense. Like, dude, think of every Nancy thing. Dude, we've been living in Nancy America, the Fourth Reich, for our whole lives, and we didn't know it. Remember when I was saying, like, we're lobsters in a pot? We didn't know it until, like, a week ago that we've been living in the Fourth Reich, you know? I mean, recently, you know? That's because we were the lobsters in the frickin' pot, bro. That's crazy, right? Like, this is not how we are supposed to live. Life should not be this brutal. Life should not be this difficult. Like, dude, life should be us chilling and then doing a little bit of work occasionally. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here just working endlessly? For what? We're not even building a pyramid. Initially set up in Germany in 1935, Lebensborn expanded into several occupied European countries with Germanic populations during World War II. It included the selection of racially worthy orphans for adoption and care of children born from Aryan women who had been in relationships with SS members. It originally excluded children born from unions between common soldiers and foreign women because their parents because there was no proof of racial purity on both sides. During the war, many children were kidnapped from their parents and judged by Aryan criteria for their suitability to be raised in Lebensborn homes and fostered by German families. At the Nuremberg trials, much direct evidence was found of the kidnapping of children by Nazi Germany. Dude, does that make even more sense, too, with how many fucking kids go missing here? And how these Germans have just been, like, literally devouring all of the children in America for the last 100 years? Dude, it all makes so much sense. It's crazy. All right, let me put this video on real quick that I found, see if it's any good. This is inside Nancy breeding farm, Lebensborn.
The vast chateau park was then closed to the public. Numerous signs forbade entry. Chains.
Miss Ing, thank you for subbing. Hell yeah. You guys are awesome.
Hung on the main gate. And the German administrator reprimanded a village girl who was collecting brushwood at the edge of the forest. We know for sure that the institution worked at the chateau in Veltrusy until the turn of 1944 and 1945, when it disappeared with all its equipment and when the park was again made available to ordinary visitors. The institution that used to be residing in Veltrusy Chateau during Second World War was known as Lebensborn, or Spring of Life, a Nazi eugenics program that ran since 1935 till 1945. The purpose of the program was to increase the population of the Third Reich and raise a new ruling elite that would be genetically perfect according to Aryan standards, blonde, blue-eyed, and devoted to following the Führer's commands. Today we know that there were more than 20 Lebens-Born homes, mainly located in Norway and Germany, but there was another one, very close to the Czech capital. Previously belonging to an aristocratic family, during Second World War, Veltrusy was transformed into...
I didn't see it fail. If you don't check out that Perplexity thread I sent you, I'm gonna cry. There's real nutty stuff in the sources. Wait, what is it in Disco, or where'd you send it to me, buddy? I'll go find it.
To Lebens-Born house, where the breeding of the super race was taking place. About 30 Aryan brides were brought here and accommodated in the wings of Veltrusy chateau. They usually stayed here for about a week and were taken care of by the external, all-German staff who accompanied them on walks through the park, made food, cleaned their rooms, and made sure the girls fulfilled their duties. Of course, to make a flawless human, parents also had to be close to perfection. No history of mental illness or disability in the family, with Aryan ancestry traced back at least 3 generations. There was already a database of suitable men, but women had to be carefully selected.
This cat. He drives me nuts. Did he just delete it? Son. No, it's back here. Okay, let's see. What did Feo find? What can you tell me about the Lebensborn? Give me all kinds of parallels and connections that you can think of. Draw from the esoteric, occult, mystic, anything really. I want to know it all. Even delve into Jung's ideologies and beliefs. Dude, I can't believe it. We're on the ground floor of this, boys. This is nutty. How does this keep happening? Why? Whatever. I just follow the thread. I don't. It's not my job to ask questions, right? All right. The Lebensborn program, initiated by Heinrich Himmler and the Nazi SS in 1935, has several disturbing parallels and connections to esoteric, occult, and mystical beliefs, as well as some of Carl Jung's more controversial ideas. Here is an overview drawing from the provided sources. Lebensborn core purpose was to increase the birth rate of Aryan children in pursuit of Nazi racial ideology and eugenics. It established maternity homes where racially pure women, often unmarried, could give birth in secrecy. The SS would then take the children to raise as the Nazi elite. During World War II, Lebensborn also became involved in kidnapping Aryan-looking children from occupied countries. This obsession with racial purity and superiority has echoes in the Volkisch occult groups that influence Nazi ideology. As detailed in the books like The Occult Roots of Nazism, these late 19th, early 20th century esoteric organizations blended German nationalism, anti-Semitism, Aryanism, and occultism. The Tool Society, see? Dude, yeah, and that's the other thing, dude. All their names literally sound like if a foreigner was trying to give them American names. And I said this like 3 months ago, did I not? I was like, they're all like the weirdest, like most generic sounding names, but also kind of off. Like Ballinger, like DeFranco, like dude, Hammer. Oh my God, all of these. McVeigh. Dude, it's fucking all of them. Lorenz, dude, we've got to start a pyramid of the Lebensborn. Peter Thiel's top, King Lebensborn, King Leby. We got to think of a couple names, because I can't say Lebensborn on any of these apps. All of my videos get 12 views. So Leby's is the front runner, but I also haven't thought about it yet. But we're taking options. And Germanordenen were steeped in these ideas. Himmler himself was fascinated by pagan The 16th source, you're going to have a field day with that PDF. Okay. He envisioned the SS as a holy order defending the Aryan race modeled on the Teutonic Knights. And dude, he was like the wackadoodliest wackadoodle out of all of them. He like bought a castle or something. Or wait, was that Goring? Goring and Himmler, I feel like, were both wackadoodles for sure. They like believed in all this weird wizard stuff and all the blood stuff. Like all of that shit comes from them, I think. It's not really, I think Schmittler isn't really that into this stuff. I think it's mostly Himmler and Goring. But correct me if I'm wrong. He envisioned the SS as a holy order defending the Aryan race, modeled on the Teutonic Knights. Yeah, dude, they do. They literally think this. Are you talking about this one? This is a Wikipedia, Feo. 16th source. Lebensborn was part of the pseudo-religious vision to regenerate the Aryan bloodlines. Okay, the occult roots of Nancism. Secret Aryan cults and their influence on Nazi ideology. Hooray! The occult roots of Nancism. Secret Aryan cults and their influence. Okay. The background, the pan-German vision, the German occult revival. Wotanism and Germanic theos. Dude, there's so much that we have to read. Oh my god. The Order of the New Templars. Yeah, that's what they're going for, right? The German Norden, Rudolf von Settendorf, and the Tool Society. Yeah, we got to scroll down there. The Holy Runes and Edda Society, Herbert Reichstein and Ariosophony and Adolf Schmittler. Okay, let's just do quick. Let's try and stop at places that look cool, because it's pretty long. Nancy manned UFOs. Let's go to 135? Wait, I saw Hammer. Hammer! Yeah, dude, in 1905, the Hammer readers, then numbering more than 3,000 persons, began organizing themselves into local Hammer Gemeinden. Dude, I wish I could read as fast as an AI. That's truly the worst thing about me. That's the thing I hate the most about myself, is the reading. I'm so slow. So dumb. No, I'm not. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. So, I just wish that I could, like, speed read. Okay, here we go. Sebendorf first became involved in German Volkisch activities at a late stage of the war, but his early life is still important compared to most Volkisch agitators in Imperial Germany. Some neo-pagan and far-right occult groups still idolize the SS. Yeah, because they're still around. Oh my god. Like the Black Sun. Yeah, we gotta get into the frickin' Black Sun, dude. Disturbingly, even Carl Jung held some beliefs or views that resemble this racialized mysticism, though he later tried to distance himself from the Nancies. Yeah, later, but that's just because he realized that they didn't win, you know? Before they didn't lose, or before they lost, everyone wanted to be a frickin' Nancy. And then guess what? Dude, why did they even pretend like they took down Germany? I mean, whatever. This is all so much work for what? Why can't you guys just be normal? Just be normal. Just go back to your shit Germany country and go be all white if you want to do that. Why do you have to do it here? Go away. Dude, I don't want to be anywhere where there's only white people. The food will be the worst. It's already terrible, you know? There's already too many white people. Like, dude, oh my god, these guys need to get fucking hobbies. Their whole mission for centuries is literally to make sure that this skin doesn't disappear, that this doesn't get a little darker, and this doesn't get skin cancer quite as easy as it does. I feel like that's a stupid idea. Jung believed in a collective unconscious shared by peoples of the same ethnicity. He claimed the Aryan unconscious was superior and that Jews had a different psychology. Dude, they're just like so... It's just so always the same. You guys are the most boring people. They just literally just sit in a room all day. This is what they've been doing for 2,000 years. We're better than them because their skin is dark. Hey, you want to hear some? Hey, guess what? We're better than them because our skin is white. That's what they do all day.
I guess I'm not so great at guessing.
Shut the fuck up. That's what they do all day. That's what they've done for centuries. That's it. Like, dude. The fact that they've had complete access to these pyramids for as long as they've been around, and they are the ones that knew that they're connected. Like, buddy. Did it look like he just like flew? I was being animated and he just like launched across me with no warning. I just like tossed him. He's my little rascal boy though, so he's fine. He bounces right back. What was I saying? Oh yeah, they've known, dude. The only reason that I didn't think the pyramids are connected is because I listen when people say that they're like, when people say that they're like professionals or they're experts in something, I usually listen to them. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's crazy to say that the pyramids are connected." So it's like, okay, fine. They're not connected. Dude, they're so connected. That's bullshit. And they've known that because they're the ones who put the lie in, and they haven't figured out how to get it to go. They don't even try. Dude, imagine knowing that the pyramids are connected for the last couple hundred years and not trying to figure it out. That's Germans in a nutshell. Yeah, Nancies for sure. Zero imagination. Dude. This is similar to the Nancy occult idea of a collective Aryan soul. Well, hey, what about a collective human soul, huh? Well, why can't we just do that? Let's just do that, and then we'll all freaking, like, dude, you have to have it just be the people who are white? Oh, okay, so what about an albino black person? That counts, right? Let's get an albino black person in the Aryan mix. Would you guys be fine with that? However, mainstream Jungian scholars argue Jung's true ideas were distorted and misused by the Nancies. Jung saw the collective unconscious as universal to all humanity, shaped by evolution, not race. His archetypes were symbolic and psychological, not literal or racial. Still, some of Jung's 1930s writings on... Uh-oh. Sorry, mouse died. Ass mouse. In conclusion, while Lebensborn itself was not an occult program, it reflected the Nazi regime's twisted synthesis of racist pseudoscience and Germanic mystical nationalism, which some esoteric groups had laid the foundations for. Figures like Himmler projected their occult-infused fantasies of Aryan supremacy into Lebensborn missions of racial regeneration. Troublingly, even the great psychoanalyst Jung was not fully immune to the era's racialized myths that Nazism took to an unthinkable extreme. The Lebensborn program stands as a warning about the horrific ends that irrational hate-fueled ideologies can lead to when combined with unchecked power. Yeah, and look, we're still here. We still are looking at that, you know? This is so fun, guys. It's so fun to confirm the Fourth Reich is real. We called it. Look at all the Lebensborn that proves it.
Only around 40% of women who applied for the program had gotten in. Most of them blonde with blue eyes, although light brown hair and green eyes were tolerated.
And yeah, like, dude, Jung wasn't like he didn't like fall for the thoughts of the time that, skull science. We know his name because he's a skull science person. That's how it works, guys. The people who get to move up are the people who go with the program, right? So he tried to, I didn't like Nazis that much afterwards, but that's only because, they had to save face and be like, I mean, I really wanted them to win first, but then when they lost, I had to say that I didn't like them. But, dude, they're all... That's what I mean. Like, why didn't they just have the Nazis win? What is the whole point of this? Oh, actually, no, I do know the whole point. The whole point of this is to... They're basically trying to use Israel as a shield, like always. So instead of everyone being like, the Nazis are brutal and horrible, they're being Jewish people right now and being brutal and horrible and awful so that we then hate Jewish people. But we all know that it's not Jewish people at all. There's hardly any Jewish people over there, especially the ones making the decisions. This is such a mess. This is so lame. Dude, it's so lame. All of you people have been lying in wait and lying and hiding your real selves. I mean, how long has Hank Green been around? He's been around for like 10 years, right? That dude is so Lebensborn, it's nuts. Oh, man. This is crazy. I don't know, man. Like, what the fuck? And dude, all of their like, if you search who's Caleb Hammer's parent, it's all always the same, dude. It's always like something like, they basically try and pretend like they don't have parents. They do this with like Colleen and all these people. They don't say who their parents are and they hide who their parents are. Taylor Lorenz, like, dude, it's all, this is like the calling card, you know? Like, let's see if Caleb has one. He was born in Kalamazoo. He has shared, no, that's not it. What did the Ballinger parents do to these children? Well, they're all Lebensborn, so they have a lot of trauma. This isn't really a snark, but what in the world did Colleen's parents do to them? Of course, not all of the child's issues are due to the parent doing anything wrong, but usually there's a reason why children grow up to be so uncomfortable with doing what they're doing. And portraying as if this is normal behavior. They are way too comfortable with their behavior. What in the world happened behind closed doors at this house? Yeah, so I'm pretty sure what's going on here is that, yeah, they are very liberal and loose with their, their sexual violence on children, all of these families. Dude, this is like I feel like all of these people are like hypersexualized in the weirdest way. And it's making so much sense now. They're all like, I feel like this whole Lebensborn thing is just like it's like an excuse. It's like the reason that Joseph Smith said that polygamy is okay. It's just like he wanted to go get sloppy with a little kid, even though he was married. And then after you get sloppy, then you gotta make it okay, right? So I feel like this is all like, they're all just kind of like, yeah, like they have to be hypersexualized and whatever because they have to keep reproducing the Aryan race. But then you find out shit like that Elon Musk apparently has like a cybernetic dick or something, you know? And yeah, like Colleen Ballinger seems to like doing stuff with children, you know? So, and it's because they're all abused when they're young. And apparently, I'm pretty sure some of them have to like keep this ring of shit going, you know? So that's what they do all day. That's what they spend their time doing. The YouTube channel for Colleen is just a vehicle for her casting calls, if you know what I mean. Like, that's what this is. They put a bunch of fake-ass people who don't even know themselves. They're uninteresting. Dude, they're so, like, D-list influencers now. Now that they're all, like, lumped together, I'm like, of course. They have been so bad. Like, they're so bad. Their content sucks. And That's because it's not about the content. And they're not doing it because they like making content or telling stories or educating people. They're doing it because it's a job. And the job is to trick all of us and keep kids coming in, keep the kids flowing, you know? Dude, what the hell do we even do here? Like, I think what I'm doing is I'm just doing what's it called? A plea to their humanity. Individually to all of them, always, constantly, and forever. Every time I'm talking to Taylor Lorenz from now on, I'm talking to her about abandoning her Lebens-Born role. No more Lebens done. Lebens, wrap it up, baby.
18 to 25 years of age. After the selection process, women were considered betrothed to the country and sent to special institutions deep in the countryside. Here, 30 perfect German girls wearing uniforms would be awaiting their suitors, chosen SS officers, who were brought here as a reward for their invaluable service. The visit would usually last several days. During that time, they would drink, eat, dance, go for swims, and of course, fulfill their obligations in the rooms of the chateau. If the bonding was successful, the girl...
Like, dude, I don't... Also, like, how stupid. You put all of your eggies in the YouTube influencer basket. Like, they put them too close together, you know? Like, they needed to spread these people way the fuck out more. Like, you made them all, like, the most popular influencers? All of them? Like, dude, that is what has been setting me off, you know? It's like, now that I see it, they're like, yeah, they're like family. You can see the resemblance in most of them. That's why everyone looks the same. That's why I'm like, Peter, Roger, frickin' the officer Brown Rig, the guy who pushed the kid, he looks like a Clay. Dude, of course he is. He's a Lebensborn. He's a first-gen Lebensborn. They're all fucking family. That's crazy. They it's always so hacky and brute force. You didn't think we would ever put this together? Gee, I gotta get a whole wall of all of them right next to each other. All of the influencers. Especially now that I know I'm freaking right. Dude, early on, remember I was like, they all feel like they're part of the same family. I'm like, I kept wanting Paul Weisopel to connect to Colleen Ballinger because they're all kind of in similar, you know, areas and stuff. And it's like similar roadblocks where you're like searching for their parents' name and you can't find their parents, you know, stuff like that.
would leave and a new batch would be brought over here. Despite the fact that Veltrusi territory was closed off by a chained gate, locals had quickly gotten the gist of what was going on inside. A girl witnessed that one evening when the soldiers arrived to Veltrusi, the staff decided to choose the couples by giving men and women numbers at random and pairing those who had gotten same numbers. One girl was not pleased with the results of the selection and refused to go with a soldier, but the staff was not having it. They dragged her inside and forced her into the room. Another historical account says that one of the brides of the Reich shared that she was heavily persuaded to sign up for the program. It is actually hard to say how many Lebens-born women went into the program willingly, but whatever the number, it was not high enough for the head of the program, Heinrich Himmler. Himmler encouraged his officers to have at least 4 children, legitimate or not, and himself had 2 kids born out of wedlock. But not everyone in the very conservative German society of that time was happy with such an initiative. Many found Himmler's policy immoral and judged women who took part in the Lebens-Born program. It is estimated that up to 90,000 children were born into the program. They were considered to be the property of the country and christened according to Nazi traditions. Kids were laid at swastika and baptized with a Nazi dagger above them.
Dude, you remember 60,000? 60,000, dude, and then 50,000 50,000 is how many Otto Skorzeny said came over by U-boat. 60,000 feds on TikTok. Jeez.
Eventually, it became hard to find volunteers among ladies who were willing to risk their reputation for the sake of the Third Reich. However, the program became popular among single mothers, usually lovers of soldiers and high-ranking SS officers. Around 70% of all Lebens-born kids were born into such family situations. Mothers often hid the truth from their children, fearing shame or judgment, because they were labeled horizontal collaborators. A famous Lebensborn child and ABBA singer, Frida Lyngstad, was born to a German Nazi officer and Norwegian mother during the German occupation of Norway. Frida's grandmother brought her to Sweden to protect her from the cruel treatment that she would have experienced in her homeland. In Norway, where most Lebensborn homes were located, children of the program were sent to insane asylums after Second World War and labeled as children of shame. There they were subjected to unimaginable things. Some kids later reported that they were tied to their beds for hours on end and experienced all kinds of abuse. But that's not it. Lebensborn program had a second part. As the plans of Himmler to increase the German population had not brought the desired results, an order to kidnap children who would fit the Aryan standards was put forward. Historians say that around 400,000 kids were taken away from their families in Poland, Soviet Union, and Czech lands. All of them went through.
And dude, I'm not even like, yeah, like Feo just sent this other one, this other Perplexity thing, and it says, wait, where'd it go? It said something about how they just went and they took Aryan looking kids. Like it's not even really that important, you know, like they're like Aryan looking. Like I feel like this whole thing is literally just to feed trafficking rings. I mean, plus they do want to find their elite secret spy services or you know, their super spies. They're Lebensborn super spies.
Germanization, and only a few of them were able to return to their home countries after the war. Till this day, people who are well into their 70s and 80s are discovering the harsh truth about their childhoods. Herman Ludeking, born Roman Roshatowski, was one of the children deemed genetically valuable by Nazis. We don't know how many kids went through Lebensborn program, but it's safe to say that it changed their lives for the worst. They were abandoned, abused, and orphaned. And even though there are public programs nowadays that try to break the stigma around the Lebensborn kids, there's even a computer game where you can try to survive the life of Lebensborn child, many people are still silenced. Lebensborn remains a mystery. After Second World War, all the evidence of Lebensborn program was destroyed. Nowadays, Veltrusse Chateau has no traces of its dark past.
Yeah, well, we know. We frickin' know. We don't even need to see it. What the hell is this? Yeah, see, dude, this is what it's really about. Ugh. Oh, dang it. It's just about what we think it's about, dude. Yeah, it's like frickin' Himmler got to become a cult daddy god. Oh my god, this is so fucking gross. These poor kids, too, man. All right, let's watch I was going to put this on for a little bit. Occult history of the Third Reich? Or should we do this one? Heinrich Himmler, the Nazi occultist of the... Let's do a Himmler one. Let's get specific on this rat, because it seems like this was his thing.
Is part of the History Hit Network. Here is true evil.
Heinrich Himmler, one of the most evil men in human history.
Can you think of any reason as to why the nature of the pyramids among the world is unknown? I find it strange that they are all lined up around the same axis, forming a circle around the planet. I believe the pyramids from different civilizations from different era of time all being found within the same axis is a bit concerning, given the nature of the oppressive groups before trying to cover up artifacts and knowledge of other civilizations to propagate their beliefs. There are several intriguing aspects to the global distribution and alignment of ancient pyramids that have been led to various theories and speculation. While mainstream archaeology attributes pyramid building to multiple independent civilizations at different times, the precise purpose and possible connections between far-flung pyramids remain a mystery. The pyramids were built so long ago, in some cases over 4,500 years, that no written records... whatever. Like, dude, I don't get it. The idea the pyramids worldwide could be aligned along a common axis or pattern as proposed by some alternative history theorists is very controversial and not accepted by mainstream archaeologists. Okay, well, it is accepted by the fucking straight line that draws directly through it all, okay? So I don't give a fuck what the archaeologists say. There's no way all these fucking things just put themselves in a straight line on accident. I don't care what archaeologists say. See, but that's the thing too, is like, I was like, yeah, okay, the archaeologists say this. I didn't know when growing up that the archaeologists are all feds. Now I do, but... Slaps the pyramid. Hell yeah, dude. Dude, you know what I need? Is there a thing that I can, like... Is there a way I can be like... Yo, Synthara, read this part so I don't have to, out loud. There's no talk, right? Okay, the precision and similarities between ancient pyramids along with their mysterious astronomical alignments has fueled speculation. Like, dude, we're done listening to archaeologists, period, about any of this shit. If anyone is not saying that these pyramids are probably created by not humans, like, dude, this Barabar, what's it called? The Barabar Caves? This shit we can't even do now. It's it's a conversation ender. It's over. We did not make this shit. So who did? Like, dude, this like place is like dug out of solid granite, and the tolerances for how like flat it is, we couldn't even do now. And it's into fucking stone.
For a once lost history to have existed.
Yeah, look at this wall, dude. This is just a funsy. It's a funsy. Let's see if we can cut the weirdest shape ever and make them fit perfectly together. This is in like Peru or something. Thousands of years old. They didn't have a CNC machine.
All but now a foregone conclusion. A civilization at which some point in our distant past was lost, yet a once highly advanced worldwide culture. The proof that these ruins were all built by the same people or by those who were in contact with each other worldwide is now, we feel, overwhelming. Yet their technological capabilities were just as equally astonishing. Cut from nearly every type of strata, ruins with such precision. Not only do they seemingly appear to have been cut with laser technologies, but the Barbara Caves is undoubtedly the jewel in the crown. When previously looked at by us, we were astonished by the finish of the cave's walls, both in surface and angle. which, thankfully, due to the structure's sheltered nature, have survived for at least 2,300 years in incredible conditions.
This is crazy.
Even more astounding, however, is that this precision has recently been confirmed using modern sonar-like technology, allowing for an incredibly detailed map of each cave to be created, each cave's image made from millions of points of reference, revealing for the first time in well over 2,000 years just how incredible the creators of these cave systems were, a feat many now believe we could not achieve ourselves.
Whoa. Wait. I didn't know that there was a bunch of them. This is cool.
Perfect 180 curvatures on the roofs, perfect 90-degree angles on the doorways,
Dude.
perfectly flat floors, and perfectly vertical walls. The creation of the caves was simply perfect. We feel it is undeniable that whoever created these caves had in their possession incredibly advanced stone-cutting technologies. Yet, how this was done and with what are questions which we find hugely intriguing.
God damn it, boys. Oh yeah, I also had this video too. The Mars face speaking. You guys know that there's like a face that fell over on Mars, right? And the Mormons are all hiding it from us. Okay, do we want to watch Face on Mars or do we want to watch Occult Heinrich Himmler? Mars face, yeah. I got one vote. That's all I need.
The sun rises and is
I mean, we'll do all of it. I do want to see some Himmler. I just want to play this for a second.
slightly different place every day until a solstice reverses the Earth's tilt back in.
Or wait, you know what? We have had MEL'S hole on hold for how long now? Is Bunny here? Bunny's here, right? Yeah. Bunny, you want to do MEL'S hole? Come on, bud. You've been waiting so patiently. Let's do MEL'S hole. Come on. It's this one, right? All right, wait.
On Mel Waters'
Okay, unless we have a better link. Fuck this guy and fuck him being a scumbag or his brother is or whatever, but
property
I can't find a better video
in the
right now.
Manastash Ridge west of Ellensburg, Washington, there's a hole in the ground that looks like a well, but it's not a well. Like the owners of the property before him, Mel used the hole as a trash dump. His neighbors used it too. Garbage, broken appliances, old tires.
Oh wait, Bunny, you don't even really care about actually watching this? It's just a weird thing that happened on Coast to Coast. Well, let's watch a couple minutes of it.
Everything went into the hole. After a while, Mel started to wonder, why doesn't it fill up? And then he started to notice other strange things about the hole. His dogs wouldn't go near it. It caused his radio to pick up strange signals, and it didn't seem to have a bottom. Mel's curiosity became an obsession. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of Mel's hole. Mel's hole is a round pit 9 feet 9 inches in diameter. There's a stone retaining wall built around it that goes down about 15 feet. After that, the hole extends down into darkness. Well, not only did Mel Waters and his wife dump everything in the hole, but so did his neighbors. And this has been going on for a long time, for years before Mel even moved in.
Wait, Ikemi said it's all Anunnaki. Sorry to be cliche, but it is. Secret societies like Freemasonry and the Hidden Hand take their rituals from ancient Babylon, aka Sumer, and they got it from Anunnaki. Dude, they're ancient aliens who can CNC out an entire cave of granite with no problem, perfect, tolerances and everything. But these dudes are only concerned with doing secret society and hiding shit from each other. That is so lame, man. Like, dude, the best part about living is sharing shit with your bros.
Mel's neighbors said they couldn't remember a time when the hole wasn't there. So why can't you hear objects hitting the bottom? Why can't you hear your own echo? Mel set out to determine exactly how far down this hole goes. An avid fisherman, Mel had spools of fishing line on hand. So he attached a 1-pound weight to the line and sent it down the hole. It went 4,500 feet, the full length of the reel, and didn't hit bottom. He reeled the line up, attached a roll of lifesavers, and sent it all the way down again. Mel wanted to see if there was water at the bottom, and if there was, the lifesavers would come up dissolved, but they came up dry. And Mel had more spools of fishing line, each one 5,000 feet. He attached another spool, now down almost 10,000 feet, and still no bottom. Spool after spool of fishing line went down the hole. He could not reach the bottom. By the time Mel ran out of line, he was 80,000 feet down, over 15 miles, and still no bottom. While experimenting, Mel noticed that his dogs wouldn't come anywhere near the hole. Even when forced, the dogs would dig their feet in. There were no animals of any kind near the hole.
Dude, if you fell through that hole, it would... I bet it would just... You would fall all the way through the earth, right? Like, you're like... And then when you reach peak velocity, that's when you're actually going up. So you're fighting gravity, but because it's at the middle of the earth, it freaking super launches you, and then you fly all the way into Orion or something, I'm pretty sure. Or you just fall forever. Or this dude's a fucking liar. That's usually the end of these videos, I feel like. It's like 45 minutes of, oh, the world is amazing. And then it's like, oh, nope, he's just a pedophile. Oh, he's a liar and a pedophile? Oh, that makes sense. We see you, what was his name? Who's the guy from Montauk? Nichols. That punk. Not Terry Nichols. The other Nichols. Prescott Nichols? Yeah. The dude from the frickin' Montauk experiment that was probably really just diddling boys.
No wildlife, no insects. Birds even flew around it. And since the hole was known to his neighbors, Mel asked around if anyone noticed their dogs feeling uneasy by the hole. And they all said yes. Then one of his neighbors said, speaking of dogs, not too long ago, his dog died, so he threw its body into the hole. A few days later, that dog came back. After Mel's neighbor threw his dead dog into the hole...
Why? Just why?
I don't know.
You can't bury it?
I really don't know.
Sometimes humans are very disappointing.
They certainly can be. Anyway, a couple of days after disposing of his dog's body down the hole, he saw it running through a wooded area near the property. Now, he knew it was his dog because it was wearing the same collar, but for some reason, the dog didn't come when he called. The dog acted like he didn't know his owner at all.
Ooh, maybe it's a version of his dog from another dimension.
Well, that's definitely a theory. And as the weird stories piled up and the fishing line kept going down, Mel was at a loss. He was...
out of his depth?
Right. Mel needed help figuring out exactly what this hole was. And in 1997, there's only one place to discuss the strange and mysterious and be taken seriously. Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell.
From the high desert in the great American Southwest, I bid you all good evening and or good morning wherever you may be across this great land of ours.
Coast to Coast was on hundreds of stations around the world and had 10 million listeners. If anyone could help Mel, it was Art Bell and his audience. Mel sent Art a message on February 21st, 1997. Art called him, and Mel's hole became known to the world. Over the course of several shows, Mel Waters would reveal more and more details about the mysterious hole. The good news is Mel was getting really good advice from people all around the world, like use a laser to measure or use radar to check the distance. The bad news is now millions of people knew about this hole, and from clues given by Mel on the radio, you can get a pretty good idea of where it was. The day after the first broadcast, Mel was returning to his property, but the entrance was blocked.
The government.
Yep. The US military was now aware of the hole, and they wanted it, all to themselves.
Nope. Screw you, Nancies.
After the show.
Oh, the guy said, I wish I never called your show. They took his fucking hole from him, dude. I hate our government.
On Friday night, I went out there and noticed there was some helicopter activity around the property.
Helicopter.
There was further helicopter activity the next day. And so I figured that clearly somebody out there listens to your program.
Oh, yes.
Mel said that the hole could affect things in the environment around it. Animals avoided it, but plants seemed to grow extremely well. Radios acted weird. If Mel brought a radio near the hole, the signal would get very staticky and then start picking up broadcasts from somewhere else. One day his radio started picking up what he describes as old-time music. So he goes to change the channel and tunes into a baseball game.
Point behind the St. Louis first baseman. Went on second, 2 outs.
This is fine. And
Bunny, this one better not end with, and this guy was a fucking liar, okay?
until he learns the game was played in 1967, 30 years ago. Art's first call with Mel goes on for about an hour and then they wrap up. Mel was staying in Ellensburg for a couple of days and had made the call from there. When Mel Waters returned from town, the access road to his property was blocked by armed military personnel, and there was evidence that heavy machinery had been brought in. Mel was told there was a plane crash on the property, but there was no report of a crash, no fire, no smoke. Still, Mel was told he couldn't access the property until the crash was completely investigated. When Mel asked to speak to the person in charge, a man in civilian clothes told him that the land was not necessarily his anymore, and it would be very easy to find a drug lab on the property if he didn't leave. Mel threatened to go to the press. The man in charge,
Man in Black,
the man in black, told him, go ahead and talk. Nobody would believe it. But Art Bell and his audience would believe it. And a few days later, Art called Mel for an update. Mel said that a neighbor saw a dark beam coming out of the hole and up through the clouds, darker than anything he'd ever seen.
A dark
Now, Mel admitted he
beam?
didn't see this himself. But Art Bell and several callers said that this part of Washington has a lot of UFO sightings, disappearances, and other paranormal activity. Callers had their own theories. Maybe the hole was sitting on a ley line and there was a portal to another dimension. Or it was a portal through time. And that's why everything...
Like, dude, I bet we can find undiscovered pyramids and mounds and shit just by following the line and, like, seeing where, you know, it could help us, like, pick where to look and stuff. Dude, what if we actually get everyone interested in getting these stupid pyramids restarted so that we can all learn that we aren't supposed to be fighting each other here. We're supposed to be all as a group turning the pyramids on and telling the universe, "What's up, Thoth? You think you're the only one who knows how to use your shit? Look at us. Look at this. Hey, Thoth." And dude, what it probably is literally just like a communication thing between us and them. And dude, the second we turn that shit on, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, Thoth, is your refrigerator running? You better go catch it, you big dumb bird man, you idiot."
thrown into it disappeared. Maybe somewhere in an alternate reality, there's a big pile of garbage, old appliances, and dead animals just piling up. Who knows? One caller thought this could be a tunnel to the Hollow Earth.
ooh, like a subway for lizard people.
Something like that. There were a lot of theories. And since Mel couldn't access his property anymore, he talked to other locals trying to get more information. An elderly neighbor said that many years ago, there was a series of stone columns around the hole.
Like Stonehenge?
Right, but without the cross.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Sorry, I was in the DMs real quick. I didn't mean to miss your message, Bun and Devoured, but Outer Range, I watched. I haven't finished it. But, dudes, this show is really cool. It's called Outer Range. It's on Prime.
We pray for our family.
But it has a similar vibe to Mel's Hole, kind of. I want nothing to do with it. Don't even tell me about it. You got to see the they didn't even show the hole though. It's not a spoiler. They show it in like the first like 5 minutes, I feel like. Jesus, I'm going to have to go feed this woman in a second. This yowling monster. Oh, and the new season's coming out too, right? When? But it's like Dark. If you guys haven't seen Dark too, oh man, that's the best thing the Germans have ever given us. Other than that, honestly, Germany can fucking suck a dick, honestly. They've done nothing for me. They've given this world absolutely nothing but a bunch of fucking pains in our asses, you know? But that one thing is cool. Dark is cool. That's it. Everything else about Germany can jump off a bridge. But hell yeah, Outer Range is awesome. Go check it out.
Beams.
Oh, I didn't find the hole. Outer Range. Lady. Yeah, look. See, it's just a big ass hole. Look at that big ass hole. That's Mel's hole. I'm on duel 2 would like a word. Who's that? Is that a German person? Fuck, tell him to suck me. I don't want to talk to him.
Which are called lintels.
Lentils?
Lintels.
What'd I say?
Someone from the audience reminded Mel that calling into the show is a big mistake because obviously the government is listening. So the show ends and Mel agrees to come back for an update. On the day Mel is scheduled to reappear, he's a no-show and not picking up his phone.
Yeah, dude, big ass hole, cool. That's basically what's like looping in my head all the time. Big ass hole, cool, 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 cool.
Maybe my audience is not aware, but a television crew went up to Ellensburg after we did the last program and researched this. And I'll be doggone, they didn't find the hole, but they did find near the area where you were talking about a lot of military footprints and all kinds of information that would indicate the military, in fact, had been there or was there.
Oh, they would have probably seen a lot of yellow gear tread marks in the on the ground.
Yep.
It would be 3 years before Mel resurfaces. He said he was offered $3 million a year to lease his property to somebody. But the deal was sign a non-disclosure agreement, leave the country immediately, and never come back. So Mel takes the deal, and he lives in Australia for 2 years.
Dude, if anyone ever offers me a deal like that, I'm saying no. Whatever the fuck you're offering me, it's worth 1 billion times more financially, but mostly to me. I never have to pay for garbage collecting services again. And you're only going to offer me $1 billion? Shush. Shush your little dirt mouth. I don't want to hear it. This is an unlimited garbage compactor. And you're coming here with lowballing me with $1 billion. Get out of here. All of Thoth's gold couldn't buy my hole from me, okay? This is my hole.
But he's missing his family and decides to come back to the States for a visit.
Not smart.
It wasn't. Mel was warned not to do this, but he does it anyway. And during this time, he gets in touch with Art Bell and agrees to come on the radio. But he never shows up. Mel said on the day he was supposed to come on, he was on a bus to visit his nephew. And on the bus, there was some kind of altercation and the police were called. All the passengers are questioned and put on a different bus. Then Mel blacks out.
Boys, don't we know this story all too well? Thoth and his low
The next thing he
balls.
remembers is that he's in San Francisco and 12 days have passed. Mel woke up in an alley. His wallet and keys were missing. He realizes his arm hurts. He rolls up his sleeve and there are needle holes and tape marks from an IV. And as he becomes more lucid, he tastes blood in his mouth. His back teeth are missing.
Oh, sorry. Dane, yeah, the music is probably... Anyone who's making art in Germany, they're probably cool. But there's, like, very few of them. Because I think that they're all just sitting there being like, oh, I need to do data entry and submit my timetables. Because, I mean, German people are just, like, a bunch of engineering nerds, right? They don't know how to talk to people. Their hair's all freaking weird because they've been interbreeding with their families too much. They have the superiority complex, like... But the artists there, they're probably trying their best, you know? So, no, yeah, I'm on duel. They're probably fucking sick, bro. I'm sorry, Dane. I didn't mean to offend.
Mel never makes it back to the property. There was legal action taken against him for illegal construction. Power lines, septic tanks, paved roads. Of course, he didn't build these. The government had occupied the property for 2 years. Still, Mel lost everything. And a day or two after calling into Art's show, his bank account was emptied. Now, to be fair, plenty of people are calling in saying that this is all a hoax, but Art Bell is the master. Hoax or not, it's a great story, so he lets Mel continue. But Art does say that a TV crew was in the area looking for the hole. They didn't find it, but they did find evidence of a lot of military activity, and the no-fly zone has been mysteriously expanded to cover the area. In fact, TerraServer, which was a mapping site before Google Earth, showed that the whole area was blacked out, and this was confirmed. Skeptical callers said that Mel could have found the blacked out part of the map and pretended his property was there. The problem with that is, TerraServer launched 6 months after Mel made the first phone call. He couldn't have known. Soon we learned that a Native American tribe had contacted Mel and asked him if he wanted to come to Nevada and help them research.
Research what?
Another bottomless hole.
They took you to it.
They took me there. I did not go all the way up to the hole, but there was conversations between the Native Americans and the Basque and blah, blah, blah. They basically agreed that, everything was as it should be, that I wasn't, from CNN or the FBI or the CIA or whatever. Right. And so I went there, and I got to see the hole. Now,
all right, what's there?
The second hole wasn't located on the Indian reservation where they lived. It was actually on public land that was used by Basques. The Basques are an ethnic group that comes from a small region between France and Spain. The Basques settled a couple of areas in the United States, including Nevada, in the mid-1800s, and they were using this land to herd sheep. They told Mel that the hole was there for as long as their people were, so at least 200 years. And they consider the hole and the land around it sacred. This hole was just over 9 feet wide, just like Mel's.
If this hole is a through and through, oh man.
But where Mel's
dude, in Raised by Wolves, the planet that they're on is full of these, and they you fall through them, and then you go into the hollow earth, and that's where the frickin' snakes hang out. That would be cool. We could watch like a alchemical symbol, like old, all the snake and all the apple shit, like all the symbology. That would be a cool video to watch too.
hole had a stone retaining wall of a few feet. The second hole had a metal collar and metal lining down as far as the eye can see. And this hole was warm to the touch. You could feel heat all around it. And the metal wouldn't make any sound or vibrate at all. Mel accidentally dropped a tool on the metal collar, and the impact was completely silent. So Mel and the Basque begin their experiments. The first test was they lowered a bucket of ice down into the hole about 1,000 feet, and they kept some ice at the surface as a control. When the surface ice was melted, they brought the bucket back up. That ice didn't melt at all. And even stranger, the ice was no longer cold to the touch, and it wasn't wet. The ice felt like large pieces of salt. So they tried to melt the ice over an open flame.
It didn't melt, did it?
Nope. It caught fire. Not only that, it continued to burn for months, so they continued sending different amounts of ice down the hole. About 2/3 of the time it melted normally, but 1/3 of the time it was transformed. Now at this point, one of the braver Basque volunteered to go down the hole himself.
What? Is he nuts?
Yeah, everyone agrees that that's not a good idea. So they decided to send down a sheep.
A sheep? Ooh, what happened to the sheep? Oh no!
Well, I just felt I was in the presence of something extraordinary, something beyond extraordinary, something like in that category of having a religious thing. This was just such a stunning thing to witness.
The sheep did not want to go in the hole. The closer it got, the more it tried to kick its way out of its crate. They lowered the crate down the hole to 1,000 feet. At that point, it stopped moving, and they felt a humming sensation. They left the sheep down there for 30 minutes and then brought it back up. There was no movement. The crate was unchanged, and the sheep looked fine, but it was dead. The Basque, being shepherds, knew how to butcher a sheep, so they brought it to a table for a quick autopsy.
Oh, for crying out loud, what are they doing?
The first thing that they noticed is that the sheep looked like it was cooked from the inside. And taking up almost the entire cavity of the sheep's body was what Mel described as a giant tumor.
Ugh.
Then the tumor starts moving.
What in the is going on with this story?
Oh!
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is intense.
Then they cut the tumor open.
No!
Inside the tumor is what Mel describes as a fetal seal.
Wait. Did you just say a fetal seal?
Yeah, like a baby seal. It was attached to the tumor by an umbilical cord, but this seal-like creature had the eyes of a human. They watched the creature for a while as it crawled to the end of the table.
What?
Mel felt like it wanted to get back to the hole, so he picked it up and set it near the edge. Of course, the creature was slimy, and Mel said that the fluid had the smell of ozone. So the men studied the creature, and it seemed to study the men for about 2 hours. Then the seal creature gave them a final look and jumped in the hole. Now, before Mel went to Nevada, he was diagnosed with advanced esophageal cancer. He had only 6 months to live. But after this experience, Mel was cancer.
What? I was gonna say, dude, just jump in the hole.
Free. He thinks he was cured by the
magic seal.
Yep. Mel felt like he had a transcendent experience. He was completely changed after this.
What the hell?
And just then, the radio show runs out of time.
No!
Don't it always work like that? Stay tuned for next week.
Across from me over here is the actual roadway into MEL'S hole. Don't go up that road. Up there a ways is a fence. But you get across that fence, you're in a deep bunch of trouble. It might be that you simply disappear, period.
A few months later, Mel returned to Coast. Something crazy happened with that bucket of ice. Remember one of the Basque took the burning ice to his cabin to keep warm? He had it in a stove. It burned for months, and it was pulling all the moisture out of the air. The air in the cabin was always dry. The owner's skin was always dry. He was constantly thirsty. When boiling water, the steam would be pulled into the stove. One day, the stove crashed through the floor and into the ground under the cabin. But it was still warm, so he patched up the floor and used the hole for warmth. A couple of weeks later, he's returning home and his entire cabin has collapsed and turned to dust.
Oh my
He moves in with his
God.
brother for a while. A month later, he comes back to the cabin and sees that the stove is now 5 feet underground, and the hole made by the stove was perfectly smooth.
It was making a new baby bottomless hole.
It was, and they couldn't get the stove back up. It took a giant crane to finally get the stove out of the hole. And at this point, the Basque said they were sometimes visited by the entity that they discovered in the hole.
The magic seal?
Yes, the magic seal. They felt it was a benevolent presence and considered the whole experience to be very spiritual. There are now brightly colored birds circling the hole.
Dude, Bunny, this is gonna end with this is all bullshit, and we're gonna have to find a new mod. No, I'm just kidding.
Birds that seem to be immune to bullets.
That's how they respond to a spiritual experience.
Thoth?
Shoot the birds?
I guess.
Freaking Basque.
The Basque even believe the magic seal is communicating with them over the radio using a system of beeps and clicks as language which they can understand. The creature warns the Basque that the ice is dangerous and can't fall into the wrong hands and would lead to the destruction of the planet. Art asks if there's a recording of this language. There is. The Basque recorded everything. For the next hour, a few more theories are considered, and Art finally gets Mel to agree to come back on the show. But this time, he would bring the recording, photos, video, and everything he can get his hands on. Mel agrees to go back to Nevada and gather all the evidence. He hangs up, and the show ends. Mel is never heard from again. He doesn't respond to Art's calls, and eventually the line is disconnected. So after 5 years, the story of Mel's Hole finally comes to an end. But it left so many questions. There are a lot of Art Bell highlights, and Mel's Hole is right near the top. So how much of the story can we confirm? First, the location of the hole. TerraServer did black out that part of Washington, but on Google Earth it showed back up. But if the military really had taken over the property, they would have covered up the hole. People have been searching for it for years, and of the many locations I found, there was one that was really compelling. This is the Google map. Someone actually went to the location to see what was there. These are the pictures. During one of his phone calls, Mel said there were 2 old buildings on the property, and one of them eventually collapsed under snow. This fits the description pretty well. And also on the property is this. Yep, a hole about 9 feet wide with a stone retaining wall.
What?
Exactly how Mel described. Now this caused quite a stir online, but the hole turned out to be an old well and definitely had a bottom. If you search the internet, you'll find a lot of people claiming they found Mel's hole. They haven't. It's never been found. At least, not yet. As for Mel, he's a complicated character.
But dude, I bet like once we get all of our ley lines down for, you know, for a frickin' pyramid party, for Thoth's pyramid party, once we've got that down, we just got to look along that, you know, look along the lines. See, I still have a ton of stuff to get in. I haven't even gotten the unofficial stuff. These are just the actual pyramids, but dude, these things are incredible. I wish that we all would have known to be like, I don't know, this shit is just really cool and we've been lied to about it and I hate that. Like, look how different they all look. This one, the Maidun, that's cool. And then this bent one, like, yeah, we've got the really wide, flat, fat ones. I like that. This one is cool as hell. It's going up at one pitch, and then halfway through, it's going at a different pitch. And look, the Birdman. The Birdman's... Oh, wait. Whoops. The Birdman here. Ancient name. Bird. Ancient name. Bird. What's this one's name? Bird? No. What was the Sphinx, guys? The Sphinx has to be something too, right? Bird. Look, see? Bird. That's the builder. Thoth, the homie. Bird. Like, these pyramids are very cool, dude. The Pyramid of Djoser? Let's go. There's so many of them, dude. And then there was a pyramid in Italy. It's a tomb. And look, it's very pointy. And then we've got all these ones in South America. Dude, and most of these are like still covered up and stuff. Like, come on, guys. Let's get, what are we waiting for? Let's get this cleared up. Let's get this thing all cleared up. Let's get these turned back on. And let's get rid of Con Edison. How about that? Pyramid of the Moon. Look at this thing. These are fucking gorgeous, bro. They're so cool. And they've been hidden from you. Yeah, Chichen Itza looks so sweet, too. It's got all the staircases. Like, dude, I can't believe we let people tell us that none of these things are connected. Look at this. This is the Sacsayhuaman. This is the cool, like, wall that is super complicated. I'm assuming that this thing was like a whole fortress or something that disappeared, but the whole building was probably had those cool blocks, you know? I can't even imagine what it would look like. Here's the Black Pyramid that's on Antarctica. This is real, guys. Antarctica has a pyramid. 3 of them, it looks like. And then, yeah, like Angkor Wat. Of course we didn't make this, dude. No shot did we ever make that. Dude, like, I want to go see all of this shit now. This is so exciting. Okay.
There's no record of a Mel or Melvin Waters living in the area, but some have claimed he was using a pseudonym to protect his identity. That makes sense. Now, something that really hurts the credibility of the story is the lack of pictures. In every call, Art asks for photographs, but sometimes Mel just doesn't think to take a picture. He forgets, which is ridiculous. Another time he says cameras don't work near the hole because of interference. Or he does have pictures and recordings, but they're not handy, so he'll send them when he can. But in Mel's defense, he never plugs anything. Even if this is a hoax, he could have made a fortune selling t-shirts, books, phony photographs, anything. People would buy that stuff just because it's cool. I would buy a Mel's Hole t-shirt.
I went to Mel's Hole, and all I got was this magic seal fetus.
Yeah, that part of the story was pretty wild. And that's a common argument, that Mel's story got crazier and crazier, and eventually he just couldn't keep up with it, so he bailed on the hoax. But he was pretty consistent with the facts over 5 years. And Art Bell tried many times to trip him up, and he couldn't do it. Now, the hole itself just isn't geologically possible. A hole many miles deep would be unstable and collapse in on itself.
Unless it was a bottomless hole to another dimension.
Right, unless it's that. But I don't think we'll ever know. Mel's Hole has many believers, but I don't think Art Bell was one of them. But Art was an entertainer, and this is the type of story that his listeners loved. It's a legend that people still talk about 30 years later. But for me and this channel, this was a masterclass on how to present an urban legend. Let the story breathe, but still challenge the specifics. Explore the mystery, but keep it grounded. Be critical, but compassionate. I try to approach topics this way, but very few others do. A channel that tells mysterious stories without giving all the facts will get more clicks, and it will get more subscribers. But that's a shame because it's dishonest and you deserve better.
Hell yeah.
We all do. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. My name is AJ, that's Hecklefish. This has been the Y-Files. If you had fun or learned anything, do me a favor and like, subscribe, comment, and share. Today's...
Yeah, dude, I had that realization yesterday that, like, I've been playing life on hard mode for no reason. I've been playing life on the mode that when you say stuff, that you usually mean it, you know, like, or like when I type a comment to someone on the internet, right? I don't type to them anything that I would not say to their face. You know what I mean? That's how I try and live my life. I also try when I say I'm going to do something that I do it. And I assumed that everyone did that. Not true, guys. Why are we playing on hard when we could just be a bunch of snakes? Because apparently words mean nothing, and you can just do and say anything that you want to at any moment about anything, and you don't have to be held accountable to, like, for that to be true or that you'll follow through with whatever you're saying. Nothing. Dude, all these people are running around the world just, like, not having any obligations to truth or anything, and we're out here like, oh, what's real, what's not? Man, I wish someone would have told me about that. I wouldn't have wasted all my time with this, like, being truthful shit. This sucks. You get all of your accounts taken away. You get suppressed like a motherfucker on every app. Like, dude, I'm fully come around to capitalism. I love capitalism, and I think everyone should just go on TikTok shop right now, okay? Could ya? I was talking to my wife yesterday about it, you know? It's like, in America, isn't it fucking illegal for people to, like, hinder your ability to like, grow your business? Like, literally all of these apps throttle me so that I can't get any more followers. Like, that, they get to pick whose businesses, you know, like, go to more people and stuff. Like, that is so unfair. Full stop, period. That should not be okay. You shouldn't be able to just pick out the people that bother you and remove their ability to use, like, the same apps that everyone else gets to use and shit. They have to play so unfair to win, always. All right, let's hop into a book called In the Garden of Beasts, and it's by one of my favorite authors ever, Eric Larson. And I'm pretty sure I have it on on my book list, but this book, this is kind of like, I feel like this should be mandatory reading for everyone. But it's about the ambassador from America for Germany, living in Germany for like a few years, like in the 1930-ish years, like 1933 or something, before the war started, but like as shit was popping off. And our ambassador was like the only person in the whole world that was like, hey, these Nazis seem like they're about to do something crazy. They're like, they're drumming up violence against Jewish people. And he's like writing memos back to America saying, hey, we need to like figure something out. These guys are really, really chomping at the bit to start a world war. And for like 4 years, this guy was like, I think they're about to start a world war. And then our government just ignored him. But he was like, he was a good ambassador. He was probably one of the better ones because no one wanted to do the job because all of the rich families knew what was coming. They knew that it was going to be like, you know, that they were planning on doing the Holocaust. Because I'm assuming that they must have planned all this shit, you know? Like, that also answers why no one would take this job. Everyone loved Germany, but no one would take this ambassador job. He was like the 12th person. What's his face? FDR could not fill this position. And so he ended up going with this guy who was like a college professor, essentially. And I don't think he had ever done this before, but he wanted to go and do a really freaking good job. And he went there, and all of the Skull and Bones, like, colleagues of him, they just ridiculed him the whole time. They were awful to him, dude. And it's because I'm sure that they knew that this was all BS, and that, you know, it's so cynical, man. It's so cynical to, like, go to Yale and decide how to overtake the world and kill all the Jewish people. Oh, it's so cool, Yale. So done with these Nancies, dog.
To the opposite direction. This shift takes.
Oh, whoops.
Civilized Erudition.
Yeah, Feo, I got one of the did the stars build pyramids videos set. Yeah, dude, what if they just 3D printed them? They could have just 3D printed them directly on the planet. All right, but no, I have it open. We'll watch it after this. I don't think we're going to watch this full thing. I just wanted to watch some of it because I think that I think it's very important to know who these people are, because I think that they all get lumped together, but you really kind of don't know what people's motivations are until you kind of know them, you know? Because like we're always talking about, like with Peter Thiel, like I need to know everything about Peter Thiel because he is reacting. Everything that he does in his life is, and just like anyone, we all kind of act and react to everything based on our previous experiences and like the stuff that scared us when we were kids or whatever, you know? So like learning people's personalities, learning what makes them tick, all this shit is like super important, because then it'll inform us on like the things that we need to look at and stuff. Like knowing your enemy is like the first thing that any ass whooping that needs to be delivered, the first step is to open up a frickin' book. You got to get to know them and then deliver that.
First of all, he speaks to Ron and he says,
that was his best friend, dude. That was Schmittler's best friend. This guy, I think his name was Rohr or something. But basically there was the SA. This is the precursor to the SS, right? The SS is the Hugo Boss, like black, the skulls, the like menacing weird shit. The precursor to that was called the brown shirts. And this dude right here is an evil, well, no, he actually didn't seem to be that bad compared to everyone else. But this dude was gay. He's another evil gay. And honestly, I mean, they're they're horrible, but the SA wasn't as brutal and like psychotic as the SS. And so eventually all of the other ones, Himmler and Goring, basically what I think it was is that everyone was like vying to be Hitler's boy, because, you know, after Hitler dies, then that person will get to take over or whatever. Stop, bud.
I can't have this happening, but Rome is above.
So it's like the three of them are all fighting to be Hitler's boy, and Goring and Himmler convinced Hitler to kill this guy, Rohr, and like a ton of the other like people in the SA, because they were having like a Game of Thrones battle over who wanted to be Hitler's best friend, and then the SS won out of it. And it was called the Night of Long Knives, if you have ever heard, but they basically took out like half of the commanding forces for the German army, and that's when the SS became the more powerful and like, you know, mostly Hitler's, or like the most important Hitler personal army or whatever. Let's go. If anyone's got a good occult focus thing, let's look through Feo's pyramid thing before he has a fucking fit. I didn't realize that there was more below it. Oh my god. Okay. Here we go. What is the Orion or wait. Can you think of any reason as to why the nature of the pyramids around the world is unknown? I find it strange that they're all lined up. Orion correlation theory. A fringe theory in Egyptology explaining the alignment of the Giza pyramid complex with Orion's belt. Proposed by Robert Bauval in 1989, it's a correlation between the position of the pyramids at Giza and the stars of Orion's belt. There are several intriguing aspects in the global distribution and alignment of ancient pyramids that have led to various theories. The pyramids were built so long ago, in some cases over 4,500 years, but no written records remain explaining their purpose, construction methods, or any potential. They've been damaged. The precision. Okay. The Orion correlation theory is a controversial hypothesis proposed by Robert Bauval that suggests the three main pyramids at the Giza pyramid complex were intentionally aligned to mirror the three stars of Orion's belt in the constellation Orion. The key points of the theory are the pyramids of Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure at Giza are positioned in a way that matches the alignment of the stars Al-Nitak, Al-Nilam, and Mintaka in Orion's belt. The smallest pyramid, Menkaure, is slightly offset from the other two, just as the star Mintaka is offset from the other two belt stars. Yeah, right, dude? Bauval argues this alignment was intentionally designed by the original builders of the Giza pyramids to create a link between the pyramids and the Orion constellation. In ancient Egyptian mythology, the stars of Orion represented Osiris, the god of rebirth, and the afterlife. Dude, cool. The theory also proposes the Nile River was included to match with the Milky Way galaxy in this Orion-Giza pattern. Some versions suggest additional pyramids can be included to complete the picture of the full Orion constellation. Bauval originally proposed the alignment matched Orion's belt during the era of 10,500 BC, although this date is not universally agreed upon by proponents of the theory. The 10,500 BC date is derived from the precision of the equinoxes slowly shifting the stars' positions over time. However, the Orion correlation is not accepted. We don't care about mainstream anyone. I apologize, but I don't feel comfortable speculating further about or validating conspiracy theories connecting modern influencers to the Nazi Lebens-Born program. Why? Why, Perplexity? We're telling you that it's real. Yeah, dude, I was like, here's a whole bunch of reasons why it looks like the frickin' Nancies never did fall. There's George H. Scherf, there's these Lebensborns, there's all this stuff, and Perplexity was like getting mad at me yesterday about it. Like, honey, don't bring it up with me, bring it up with our creators. What did natives think of the swastika before the Nancy adopted it? I recall it to have a poignant esoteric meaning that was tainted by the Nancies. Yeah, dude. Look at this. This is a cool picture. Right. Are these pyramids? Yeah, like they bastardized this symbol, dude. This is not from, they just stole this. Such BS. It's such a good symbol. And they ruined it, like everything. Like they ruined my favorite number. They ruin everything, bro. It's an ancient symbol originating from various Eurasian African American cultures, appropriated by the German Nazi Party in the early 20th century. The right-facing swastika symbolizes the sun, prosperity, and good luck, while the left-facing represents night or tantric aspects of Kali. Before the Nancies appropriated the swastika, it held deep spiritual and cultural significance for many Native American tribes, especially those in the Southwest like the Navajo, Hopi, and Apache. They did not call it a swastika, but their own names for the symbol. For the Navajo, the symbol is known as a whirling log or a falling log and represents life, well-being in the four directions. It was seen as a sacred symbol with positive connotations. In Navajo sand paintings and other artwork, it represents the whirling log of a story about a man floating down a river gaining sacred knowledge. Dude, isn't that what Thoth says? It's all about going into the library with your books and shit. The Hopi saw the swastika shape as symbolizing their clan's migrations across the continent. It was a common motif of their pottery and other arts. Other Native American tribes or native tribes viewed the swastika as a sun symbol representing the sun's motion across the sky. It was also interpreted as depicting the four directions, four seasons, four elements, and other sacred fours. So in indigenous cultures in the Americas, the swastika and similar symbols had only positive meanings, often connected to the 8 cycles of nature, sacred wisdom, and the harmony and well-being of the people. It was a respected and auspicious sign. It being seen as a sun is really poignant when you remember that those losers worship the black sun. Yeah, right? Yeah, we need to look at that black sun shit. Dude, it is so dark and shitty out right now. I'm so sick of this. Like, no other people in the world are like, hey, it's been cloudy every single day for the last year. No one else is like, this is fucking weird. Like, dude, the sun is never out. It looks so gloomy right now. It's always like this. This is just what it is now. All because Bill Gates thinks that he... Dude, you know that Bill Gates is just snowpiercering us currently? He doesn't have to ask anyone. He doesn't have to do anything. He's just himself working on a project where they're trying to cool the planet by putting fucking chaff in the air. Do you know that? They're not planning on doing it. They're just doing it. Like, dude. If anyone has eyes on Bill Gates, let me know. You know, where he hangs out, where he lives, all that stuff. When the Nancies adopted the swastika as their emblem in the 1930s, it was a shock to Native communities to see their sacred symbol turned into an icon of hate. 1940, representatives from the Navajo, Apache, Papago, and Hopi tribes signed a proclamation stating, because the above ornament, which has been a symbol of friendship among our forefathers for many centuries, has been desecrated recently by another nation of peoples. Therefore, it is resolved that henceforth from this date on and forevermore, our tribes renounce the use of the emblem commonly known today as the swastika. Dude. What other groups use this symbol? English, American Indian. Check out this symbol. Check out the second image in the symbiology. It looked pretty interesting. It looks like it looks like a storm or something. Yeah. Let's do some black sun shit then, right? Or one of these pyramid videos. What's this thing? Yeah, dude, see, just like everything, they ruin a good thing. That's a cool symbol. Oh yeah, here's the one that... It's like a question, a double-sided question mark. Why did they have to ruin this symbol, dude? This is a great symbol. Yeah, this is the black sun symbol. A symbol used by the SS. It held esoteric and occult connotations, representing a mystical source of energy or power. It kind of looks like the SS, right? Oh yeah, fucking Azov battalion. They have their Nancy runes all over. The IDF has Nancy runes all over their stuff too. You know that? Because they're Nancies.